What's poppin', y'all? Another tiring cycle of people performative. This is what you call performative. People pretending to be outraged about something that they're not going to do anything about, nor are they going to pull back on doing what they were already doing to support the individual. And that is Playboi Carti. So Playboi Carti, and this came out a couple of days ago on October 18th, actually. And it said Playboi Carti charged with assault, accused of hitting limo driver. Now it says Playboi Carti got into some trouble while on tour. He was charged with misdemeanor assault during his time in Utah earlier this month, law enforcement says. Here's what we know. Cops say a limo driver named Carl Reynolds told them the Rather Lie rapper. That's crazy that they say Rather Lie of all songs. Well, I think it's kind of fair, right? Rapper assaulted him while he was driving him and his entourage from the Waldorf Astoria in Park City to rehearsals on October 2nd. Carti was in town for his Antagonist tour at the time. Carl claims things took a disastrous turn when Carti and his other half, they're talking about Gio, his girlfriend, fiance, whatever title they're throwing on that, got into a heated argument, apparently over SEX, in the back seat. And he says Carti threatened to beat up both her and Carl after he intervened. So this guy tried to get in between. Just do your job and drive. Pretend you don't see anything. Close the, what is it? Oh, the taxis had that. I don't know if they got that in the rolls, right? Where you could close the privacy screen and pretend you're not hearing anything. Some people probably going to be like, oh man, like he's just not supposed to do anything and interfere while something happens to her. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if he wants to take his chances and potentially die and that be the end of his chapter, that be the last chapter of his book, sure, he can choose to do that as well for no benefit for him and for something that's none of his business, none of his family members. TMZ is told Carl says Carti wound up punching his GF in the chest, prompting Carl to pull over to a safer location on the highway in Heber City. However, Carl admitted he did not actually see Carti hitting his GF, but he saw her hunched over holding near her chest. Now, that's kind of vicious. Like I assume that there's levels to this, right? Like there's levels to DV, right? Like there are guys that are like, okay, gotta make sure, I'm not hitting someplace visible, gotta make sure I don't leave a bruise. Hitting a chick in the chest is like some savage level. Like you have to be a lunatic to do something like this. I can't even, because it's like those squishy little things are there, right? those squishy clouds are there. I feel like just trying to hit that and knowing how sensitive it is, you got to be off some drugs, dog. Because I don't think Carti is just so heartless to do something like that. I just think he's impulsive, yeah, and lack of self-control. But apparently that was the case. And that was a police report obtained by KSL Reads. Carl also said he urged Carti's head of security to remove the rapper from his vehicle and ride in the one with him. That's when Carl claims Carti socked him out of the blue as his girlfriend was exiting the vehicle, leaving him with a bruised, swollen jaw and a whiplash effect before Carti's head of security apparently broke up the fight. Carl, who was working for ALCA Limousine Connection, wherein the altercation allegedly went down, claims another driver for ALC witnessed the attack. TMZ is told police were called to the scene and took photos of Carl's inquiries. The department confirmed to TMZ they were investigating. We're told Carl's preparing to lawyer up, but says he mainly wants to ensure that Carti doesn't hurt anyone else, including his GF. I'll tell you what's going to happen here. Now, actually, let's talk about what happened after. So this goes out, and then soon after, this gets dismissed as fake news. So it says, Gio dismisses the Playboi Carti allegations. Quote, fake news. With all due respect to Gio, who I've never heard of before Playboi Carti, we have no interest in what you say. Because if they're together, clearly they fixed their issue, so she's not going to put him out there for it. We're interested in hearing what she's got to say about the situation after you guys break up. So Gio, you can keep whatever you say to yourself. When you and Playboi Carti break up, then let us know the story about this. I guarantee we won't be hearing fake news at that point in time. But one thing that happened very quickly is an opposite campaign was happening. So TMZ reports this. This starts spreading. Of course, Playboi Carti's arguably biggest rapper in the game right now, hottest rapper second. Young boy right now is that. But people are saying, and that same account says, there's currently a smear campaign targeted at Playboi Carti right now. Someone is paying big music accounts to spread fake news and make him look bad. Do we really need to spread fake news to make him look bad? Now, people were talking about the Antagonist tour dates and them not being sold out. And I do believe that if people are going to run promotional campaigns, I think people will run smear campaigns on other rappers, but it's got to make sense. People talking about tour dates, that's kind of normal. We see that all the time, tour tickets. And Playboi Carti has enough people that are not fans of his or that want to argue with his fandom that, you know, they want to see if he's able to sell this out and they want to call him out. It's engagement. It's good engagement as well. So the accounts are incentivized to do that. I don't think that's fake at all. But for this scenario, dude, we have proof of Playboi Carti previously getting arrested for putting hands on, or allegedly, right? It's alleged, for putting hands on his ex-girl that was pregnant. And the most recent thing that happened is the interaction with Iggy Azalea and Academics. So Iggy Azalea would DM Academics, and Academics would reveal it. He wouldn't say exactly what she told him, but he said she was pretty much laying it all out there to him and trying to use him because she was very upset when he didn't report what she told him. So she was getting into it with her baby daddy, Playboi Carti, which he's in a very unique position because like 10 plus years ago, Playboi Carti was talking about some, I need me a Iggy Azalea when she was dropping fancy and at the top of the game. And I think he was still a teenager. And then he gets him an Iggy Azalea and then he leaves her to play PlayStation with Uzi, which that's kind of goated, right? While his kid's being born. Like you could tell your kid, son, it is a son, right? Yeah, it's a son, Onyx. Listen, son, I was playing PlayStation 5 with Lil Uzi Vert. And I think the kid, if that's me, I'm like, you know what? You got it. I don't even remember when I was born. So really, now I got that memory and other people I could flex that. It's kind of like a little shiny Pokemon card. But what Academics was saying is that, she needs to go to the cops about this if she wants to handle this situation. So we can only make the assumption, make the guess, that this probably had something to do with Playboi Carti doing something illegal to Iggy Azalea that she's going to hold off on and hasn't brought to the public yet. What I will tell you guys is that Playboi Carti has one of the best fixers in the game. Lil Uzi Vert's got a really good fixer as well, but Lil Uzi Vert's with Roc Nation, so that's to be expected. But Playboi Carti, the reason why this stuff doesn't get bigger than it is number one, his fan base doesn't care. They do not care. They will pretend to care. Like they pretended to care about Carti. They accused him of being a deadbeat. Me personally, I'll say I don't care if he's a deadbeat. I don't care if anybody's a deadbeat. Frankly, I don't care about your kid. I don't care about your wife. Now, if you're putting hands on a chick, I don't know if I'm regularly gonna be hanging out with you. Like we may be acquaintances. We may do a business deal, a handshake here and there. But me saying that's my man's over there and you're shining your chick's eyes, I don't know if I can do that. However, if you're dropping music, yeah, I'm gonna listen to that. And that's exactly what's going on with Playboi Carti. They're like, man, like Jordan, some of his stands call him that. They're like, Jordan, Carti's so lame for this, man. Like, I can't believe he does this. Or like, this is so foul. He can't keep getting away with this. And then they turn on Dial It. And then they go buy Antagonist tour tickets. And then they go cop his merch. What do you mean? The only thing that you can do is to stop listening to him, which you're not going to do. So if you're not going to stop listening to him, then you are demonstrating with your behavior that you don't give a damn. And it's okay not to give a damn. It's all right. I'm giving you permission to be a bad person. It's okay. Like this whole good person thing, it's overrated. Like just be a bad person because then nobody can say anything, right? You're like, yeah, dude, I'm just a bad person. Now, number two. So I was saying, number one, people don't care. Number two is, you guys ever watch The Blacklist? So Carti's got himself a Mr. Kaplan, and then they run a campaign like this against the truth. So the truth is, this actually happened. And what is going to come out of this? Playboi Carti is going to pay, most likely, is going to pay this guy a settlement amount. The guy's going to say, listen, I'm not going to make a stink about this when that chick is still with him. Nobody cares about the situation. I got hurt. I just want to get money in my pocket. I was just trying to do my job. And then unfortunately, I have a rapper sitting in with me. And I think the issue might have had to do with him like smoking in the car too, which, oh man, God bless every single one of you security guards, every single one of you limo drivers, every single one of you people that have to deal with the riders, that have to deal with booking these artists, in particular rappers. My heart goes out to you, and I appreciate you for all that you do, because whenever I do go to a show, you make sure that happens, and it happens smoothly. But the fact that you guys got to deal with these divas that rappers are, you guys have more patience than me. I can say that much. But yeah, so if you guys have ever watched The Blacklist, Mr. Kaplan it's a woman, but it's Reddington's fixer. Goated show, by the way. If you haven't watched it, you gotta watch it. Now towards the end, it's like it's kind of wacky, to be honest. But first couple of seasons, S tier. Like the actor in there, oh man, outstanding. The main character, just like carried. That actor really could solo carried that. But they just fixed the whole situation. They'll throw some disinformation campaign saying like, oh no, people are actually hating on Carti. That's why they're reporting this. And then you just get overwhelmed. And then the next day, nobody cares. And I think what helps Carti actually more than anything else is how little he speaks. Carti does not talk that much. So there isn't material of which people can bring up again and again. Like, for example, Tyler, the Creator, he's going through it right now because he liked the tweet that talked about his fans, like, hating or not appreciating black artists. And then people were saying that he fostered that type of a fan base. And then now they're bringing up his tweets from, like, 2011. And he does have more of, like, a quote-unquote woke fan base, if you want to call it that now. So they're bringing up a lot of material, and that's the thing. Tyler, the Creator, talked a lot. He talked a lot. He still talks a lot. But he talked a lot in a different era, even of his life. He was still a teen. He was like 17, 18, 19, 20. But they're bringing all that stuff up. And he didn't even delete tweets, which I do got to give respect to Tyler, the Creator, for that. He could have wiped everything, but he didn't. He chose to leave it up there. Now, a lot of it was lost to the times in Vine because a lot of the craziest Odd Future stuff, I was about to say OF, but that's not associated with Odd Future anymore. That is more mainstream associated with something else. But yeah, that era, a lot of that stuff got lost to Vine or whoever was able to back it up. It's got to be on somebody's hard drive, but it's kind of in the lost media space. But Carti, he doesn't talk too much. He doesn't talk about his dealings with his girl or his wife or his baby mama. So there isn't much out there for people to be like, oh, I don't really like that guy. People don't see Carti as a guy. They see him as this figure. So it's a lot harder to have like a hatred towards him and want to cancel him for his fans, is what I'm saying, than it is for someone that feels like more of a person that you can take down. Really? And this is hip-hop, too. A young boy, he's going on a crazy tour right now. Man, we saw him clothesline his chick in the middle of a hotel. It wasn't a hotel lobby. He dragged her out of the hotel room or dragged her back inside. I think it was Jania. Yeah, it was Jania. He socked her out, was dragging her around, like whipping her back and forth. Not like, like whip my hair back and forth against each wall. It was like a video game, to be honest. And then dragged her back inside. And then she went on IG Live and said, like, nah, actually, the reason I got a black eye is because some boiling water popped up and it just turned into a fist. Like it was some sort of a magic trick. And it just popped her right in the eye. So she was defending him for that. And Youngboy did go through a lot for that. But what I'm saying is, within hip-hop, they're a lot more lenient with this stuff. In rap in particular. And for rappers that aren't... Like, this would hurt a rapper like Tyler, the Creator, for sure. But rappers like Carti, nah. The only thing that I think would actually harm Carti is if they got him doing something with a kid. That's the only thing I could see. Cause yeah, everything else, I think he could survive it. Something with a kid, yeah, I don't think so. I don't think that's survivable in the current time, because some people will say, well, you know how old he was when he was with Ruby Rose, and to that I will look the other way and say, hey, look, people are going to defend that and say his fake age and not his real age. But even that, people can argue it because I think there's like a 2-year difference between them, or 3 years max. So it's not like if he was doing something right now with a kid. I don't think that's survivable. But let me know what y'all think in the comments about this situation. Do you think it was real? Do you think it was fake? Because, who is out here trying to ruin Carti? And if it was something that was out of the ordinary of Carti that we didn't expect, nobody was surprised by this. That's the thing. So the fact that someone would make up something and TMZ would report it, it's not fake news, dog. They're not reporting outright fake news. They may get a story wrong, but they would correct it later. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see y'all in the next one.